Welcome to your weekly edition of Under the Golden Dome. The big news this week is the weather. Of the top three things that I have to tell you this week, number one is the blizzard and the impact that it had on legislative business. The legislature began canceling many of their committees and subcommittees on Wednesday, sending their members home for the weekend in anticipation of the upcoming snow event. Almost everything that we were interested in was canceled, except for one subcommittee, which was held this morning in the House of Representatives. It was a subcommittee on a bill to increase the amount of money for English language learners and to give us more flexibility in how we use those funds. So I trudged up to the Capitol to make the point that this is a really good bill and something that we need to move forward this session. Number two, supplemental state aid. I know you're probably wondering, where is supplemental state aid? What's happening with that? And can we anticipate a final decision by the end of next week, which is technically when the legislature must set that 30 days after the governor submitted their budget. Late yesterday, the Senate dropped their SSA bill, and we are still evaluating that bill for a number of reasons. But for a very quick overview, number one, it sets a 2.2% SSA rate. That's below what the governor proposed of 2.5%. At that level, the amount of new money is actually reduced, or the amount of general fund spending is actually reduced. It generates $20 million in new money, but it's a reduction of $4.4 million in actual general fund revenues because of the decline in enrollment. Most notably, it creates about a $28 million budget guarantee property tax impact across the state. It also includes a one-time supplemental appropriation to go to qualified school districts that would help them cover the cost of providing instruction over the past school year. This one-time supplemental turns out to be about $68 per student, but it's unclear as to how they're going to make a decision on who is a qualified school district. And so as we try to work through that, we have not yet registered on the bill as we try to understand how they're going to direct those monies and what their intended uses are going to, or what's going to be required for them to use that money. I will say that we're obviously disappointed in the 2.2% rate, and we'll be talking with legislators about not doing a separate one-time supplemental appropriation, but trying to put as much money into the SSA rate to build the base. The House has still not come out with their proposal, and my understanding is that they're still they're still trying to reach consensus within their caucus on the overall amount of spending and how that spending will be allocated. We anticipate that we'll see something from them hopefully early next week, but it might be Wednesday before they reach an agreement, which I think makes it unlikely that we will see that 30-day deadline being met again. Number three, vouchers. Obviously, that has been at the top of everyone's list. Where's that bill now that it's passed the Senate? We continue to work diligently with legislators in key districts to make sure they understand the negative impact that this has long-term on public education, and have received assurances from the House that they don't intend to take Senate File 159, which did pass the Senate. They don't intend to take that up as one full package, that they're going to deal with things in bits and pieces. We still feel confident that there's not the support to pass a voucher program in the House of Representatives, but I encourage you to remain diligent with your members in helping them understand how this isn't the right course, that we should use public money for public schools. But more importantly, that the states that have started down a voucher path, it's a slippery slope. They all end up having full-blown vouchers within a few years. So we're trying to head that off so that we don't become one of those states. So you'll see more information and more detail about the bills that we're following on our advocacy webpage. And I continue to encourage you to keep the pressure on your legislators about vouchers and how that impacts your school district.